Have you ever been searching for articles in PubMed, but felt that you just weren't getting the results you wanted? One thing you can do is to add MESH terms to your search to give your strategy more power. MESH stands for Medical Subject Heading, and is the controlled vocabulary that PubMed uses to index the majority of the content that is contained in the database. There are two ways to access the MESH database in PubMed to find and use the terms that you need. For instance, say we are doing a search about headaches and smoking. We like the keyword headaches, but we feel that there should be more out there that we just aren't getting in our search results. First, we can go to the main PubMed page and click on the link to the MESH database. Then we can search for our term using the search field and clicking on Search. Additionally, in the old PubMed, you can also go to the drop-down menu to the side of the search area and find MESH. And then you can select your terms and click on Search. No matter which entry point you use, on the MESH results page, you will typically see several variations for the term you've searched for, and you will need to find one that appears most relevant to you. Once you find the entry term that seems most correct, click on that term. Once you are in the entry page for the MESH term, you will notice that there are several options and features that you can use and select from. First, at the top of the page, there is a short definition of the term, so you can be sure of the scope of the term that you are using. Next, you will also notice the entry term section. This is where you will see all of the variations of the term that are covered by this MESH term. Some, such as our example, are very extensive. This is helpful since you can use one MESH term to account for many variations of a word. Below the entry term, you will notice the MESH tree hierarchy, with other terms that are broader and more specific than our selected term. This can be helpful if you need to broaden or specify your search further. If we scroll back up to the top of the page, we will see several options under subheadings. These are options for searching for more specific information about the selected term. For instance, if we wanted to know more about the economic aspects of headaches, we could select and use this subheading. Each MESH term will have subheadings that are slightly different and specific to that term. In addition to the subheadings, we also have the option to select for MESH major topic. This is, as the name implies, will only retrieve results where our selected term is central to the topic of the article. This can be very powerful, but also very restrictive, and will severely limit the results we retrieve. Although there are several options we can make to specify our MESH selection, generally speaking, it is better to leave these alone, especially when first using the MESH term. If you are not satisfied with the results you retrieve after using the MESH term alone, you can always adjust your search as needed. Once we have completed selecting options for our MESH selection, we can now click on Add to Search Builder. To add the MESH term and its selected code to the search builder. If we would like, we can search for other MESH terms, or we can also click on Search PubMed. Another method is to cut the MESH term and its code from the search builder. And then we can return to our PubMed search that we have in another window or tab. Here, we can add the MESH term and its code to our original search to retrieve a new and more specific set of results. We can now click on Search.